Hello, and welcome to today's video in which we'll be discussing Spanish rules. My name is Shravanth Mala, and I was a previous speller who achieved 6th place nationally. First of all, Spanish is a beautiful Romance language that's widely used in European countries. It's often used in spelling bees for the tendency that random consonants are added. Plus, simple sounds are often eccentrically spelled. It also has stems, just like Latin, Italian, and French, because it derives from Latin. So once again, this is a Romance language, so it's going to have properties similar to French and Italian. First, let's discuss a few helpful tips. First of all, the long O sound at the end of a word is often true in Spanish words, and it's almost always spelled with an O, as in embargo or flamingo. So the long O sound at the end of a word is spelled with O. Next, the long E sound at the end of a word of Spanish origin is spelled with I, as in mariachi. Third, the K sound at the in Spanish words is often spelled with QU, especially after vowel sounds that follow the long A sound, long E sound, or short I sound. Quesadilla and conquistador are a few examples of this, because as in quesadilla it's spelled QUE, and in conquistador it's spelled QUI. It's also very common for the K sound to be spelled with C in Spanish words. This is almost always true when the vowel sound that follows is a schwa, as in canasta and embarcadero. Or in the short A sound, as in castanets, caballero, or the long O sound, as in flamenco and junco. So just keep in mind, if the K sound is followed by a long vowel, then it's going to be spelled QU, and if it's spelled with a short vowel, then it's going to be spelled with K. It's going to be spelled with C. Next, the schwa sound at the end of a word from Spanish is very common, and it's usually spelled with A, as in mesa, bonanza, and several other words from the language. So the schwa sound at the end of a Spanish word is usually spelled with A. Next, the combination of the LL in Spanish words is usually treated like a single letter in the Spanish language, and it's pronounced Y, ya, in American Spanish. When these words enter English, that sound persists, but sometimes it can just be pronounced LL as it would in English. So some words such as mantilla, tomatillo, amarillo, and caballero have two pronunciations in English. Quesadilla, tortilla, and novillero always have the Y pronunciation, and chinchilla, flotilla, vanilla, peccadillo, and cedilla, and sarsaparilla always have the L pronunciation. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you make a list of the two sounds. Also, besides LL, double consonants in Spanish words aren't that common. Buffalo and peccadillo are a few exceptions because in buffalo it has the double F, and peccadillo it has the double C. So those are a few exceptions to the double consonant rule in Spanish. But in Spanish, you have to keep in mind, in the true Spanish language, buffalo is only spelled with one F, and peccadillo is only spelled with one C. So English spelling rules prefer two consonants as a signal that the previous vowel is short, as is the case in these words. Alright, so that was a pretty short video. It just covered a few basic Spanish language rules. Now, due to recent health concerns across the globe, a lot of spelling bees are being canceled this year. So, for spellers whose final years may have just been canceled, you have to remember the hard work you've put in these past few years has taught you a lot about perseverance, dedication, study skills, and determination. So, the spelling bee is just going to be a small part of your life. It's not going to be something that affects you later on. So it's just good to keep in mind that when you look at the big picture of things, the spelling bee is just a small part of your life, and there's so much more you can do with the skills you've gained from it. So thank you, and be on the lookout soon for a video on another few language tips. Thank you.